students, welcome to today's lesson. This is Geography Revision Program. Before we start today's lesson, let me remind you what you have learned in the previous lesson. In the previous lesson, we have seen the two major internal forces, folding and faulting, in addition to the landforms by these two internal forces. Today, we are going to discuss the other internal forces, volcanism and earthquake. And at the end of this lesson, you will be able to define terms, explain the landforms formed by volcanism. You are also able to list the effects of earthquake. Students, are you ready to start the lesson? Good. Volcanism is also another internal force which can change the surface of the Earth. It's caused by the internal movement inside the crust of the Earth. When the volcanic activity takes place, different materials like water vapor, gas, ash, magma, and other solid materials out to the surface. Let us watch this video. As we discussed on the above lesson, when the volcanic activity takes place, magma, water vapor, ash, gas, and other solid materials out to the surface. Inside the crust of the Earth, there is high temperature which can change the hard rock into molten magma. Magma is the rock part which is melted and changed into liquid by the heat inside the crust of the Earth. After the magma reaches out of the surface, it becomes cool and it becomes hardened. And we call this hardened part lava. Let us watch this video. The magma flow to the surface and the molten magma move to the peripheral part of the land. Then it becomes cool and hardened, and we call this hardened part lava. Magma reach out of the surface through two different holes. They are vent and fissures. When the magma forcefully out to the surface through small hole, we call this hole vent. Whereas when the magma out to the surface or pour quietly through a large crack, we call this crack or hole fissure. When the volcanic eruption occurs forcefully, it forms a large crater. We call this crater caldera. Caldera is a ball shape which collects water inside it. There are different caldera lakes in Ethiopia. For instance, Mount Zukwala, Wenchi, and Dundee are examples of crater or caldera lakes. If an eruption again in the caldera, new small cone-shaped volcano forms, and we call this caldera cone. We call this caldera cone. This is a caldera which is formed when the volcano erupts again in the caldera and gives this cone shape. We call this caldera cone. Sometimes parts of the magma may not reach to the surface of the Earth. Instead of that, it becomes cool and solidified inside the crust of the Earth. And it forms different features such as basaloids, localites, sills, and disks. These are the features which are formed when the magma solidified inside the crust of the Earth. Let's move to the types of volcanic activity. There are three types of volcanic activity: active volcanic activity, dormant or sleep volcanic activity, extinct or dead volcanic activity. These are the types of the volcanic activity: dormant or sleep volcanic activity, extinct or dead volcanic activity. Active volcanic type, it erupts from time to time. Examples: Fantale Dubi, Dama Ali, and Ertale are examples of active volcanic type which are found in Ethiopia. Dormant or sleep volcanic type has not erupted for a long period of time, but it may erupt anytime in the future. Examples, Tata Ali and Dabaha are examples of dormant or sleep volcanic type. Extinct or dead volcanic type has not erupted within this historic period. For example, Mount Zukala, Ras Dashen, and Batu are examples of extinct or dead volcanic type. Let us see some importance of volcanic eruption. Volcanic eruption give us some ideas about the interior parts of the Earth, and it initiates researcher or scientists to make further research or studies about the interior parts of the Earth. It also provides fertile soil. As you have seen in the above, when the volcanic activity takes place, magma, water vapor, ash, gas, solid materials including minerals out to the surface, and these minerals help to improve the fertility of the soil. Volcanic eruption also provides hot spring which have medical value. It also helps provide geothermal energy. As you have seen in the above, the inside part of the earth is very hot, and this heat helps to generate geothermal energy, helps in the formation and concentration of minerals also out to the surface when the volcanic activity takes place, help in the creation of new land. As you have seen in the above, crater or caldera lakes are the effects of volcanic eruption. These are the importance of volcanic activity. Let's move to the other internal force, that is earthquake. It is a sudden event which is caused by the movement deep down inside the crust of the earth. Earthquake frequently associated with faults. Earthquake frequently associated with fault. They take place along the fault line when the earth's crust weak. When the earthquake occurs, the vibration from the center spread out to all directions in the form of wave. The point at which the earthquake originates, we call this place focus. When we move a little bit far, we get epicenter. Let us see this picture. I think it makes more clear. This is the point where the earthquake originates. We call this place focus. And when we move far a little bit, we get immediately epicenter. And when we move far away from the center, the vibration and the damage caused by the earthquake become less and less. How do we measure the magnitude or the intensity of earthquake? There is an instrument to measure the magnitude or the intensity of earthquake. We call this instrument seismometer. The seismometer records on the seismograph. The seismograph records the vibration produced by an earthquake. The scale which gives the magnitude is called Richter scale. The Richter scale ranges between 0 to 9. Each number of this scale indicates the tremor that is 10 times stronger than the next lower number. For instance, if the Richter scale recording 4 means it is 10 times stronger than the one that is measured 3. The Richter scale recording 7 means the major earthquake occurred in that place. Generally, recording on the Richter scale 7 and the above means there is higher or stronger earthquake occur in that place. The strongest ever recorded earthquake occurred in Chile. It was 9.5 on the Richter scale. Let us see the Richter scale value and the corresponding magnitude of an earthquake. For instance, if the Richter scale less than 3.5 means we cannot detect it simply. It needs a seismometer or an instrument. But when the Richter scale reading 3.5 to 4.8 means we feel a little bit and a big lorry or vehicles passing around us, and we feel some kinds of vibration. And when the Richter scale 4.9 to 5.4 means losing things fail. And when the Richter scale, for instance, reading greater than 8 means total destruction will occur. So based on this, we can conclude that the reading number of Richter scale increasing, the damage and the vibration caused by the earthquake also increase. Let's see the effects of earthquake. In addition to the destruction of life and property, earthquake causes for the landslides and deep crack. For the landslide and deep crack in the surface of the rock. It also causes for the devastation of cities, fires, and disease. It also causes for the rise or the lower of sea floor. These are some effects of the earthquake. The largest earthquake in the volcano lies along the edge of the Pacific Ocean, and we call these places the ring of fire. The major earthquake occurring places in the world, the southern Europe and the southern Asia, and the west coast of North America and South America are the major earthquake occurring places in the world. Let us see this map. This is a map which indicates the major earthquake belts in the world, especially on the west coast of North America and South America, the southern Europe and southern Asia, especially the Pacific regions are the major earthquake occurring place, and we call this place the Pacific Ring of Fire. The two most recent earthquakes occur in Ethiopia in different period of time. The first occurred on July 14, 1960. It was 5 on the Richter scale, found near Lake Shala. The other occurred on June 2, 1961 in Karakore. Let us perform some activities based on the above lesson. The first question says, define the term magma and lava. The second question says, explain the landforms formed by volcanism. The third and the final question says, list 3 effects of earthquake. Students, are you ready to perform this activity? Then go ahead. I will see you in a few minutes. Hello again. Did you perform all the activities? Good. Let's check your answers together. As we have learned in the above lesson, magma is the rock part which is melted and changed into liquid because of the heat inside the crust of the earth. Lava is the magma part. After the magma reach out of the surface, it became cool and hardened, and we call this hardened part lava. The effects or the landforms by the volcanic activity are crater or caldera lakes are the effects of volcanic activity. The third answer, the effects of earthquake are fires, disease, landslides, and deep crack on the surface of the earth. In addition to the rise or the lowering of seafloor are some effects of the earthquake. Students, were all your answers correct? Good job. This is all about for today. We have seen the two internal forces, volcanism and earthquake, in addition their effect. For next program, we will discuss the external forces. Until then, goodbye students.